Alright, so in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to make a flashlight app. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up a new project in xcode and call it Flashlight or Flashlight YouTube, or whatever you want to call it. And then what we're going to want to do is go into Build Phases, go down to Link Binary with Libraries. We're going to add the AV Foundation Framework. avfoundation.framework. We got to add that. And let's drag it down. You don't have to drag it down to the frameworks folder, but I just like to. We're going to drop it in the frameworks. There we go. Alright, so let's begin in our viewcontroller.h. First things first, we need to import. No. Make sure you use the less than, greater than. We need to import the AV Foundation. This. Make sure you import that. Okay, and then what we gotta do is here, let's make a UI button. There we go. And let's call it flashlight button. And make sure you spell it right. Okay, all good. Make sure you put a semicolon. Now let's make an AV capture session. Alright. And we'll call this one AV session. Now let's make a Boolean value. Let's call this one flashlight on. Okay, and that is it for this section. Now we just need to drop down here. We need to make a property non-atomic. There we go, and retain it. Good. Oh, go back. Oh, darn it. Retain. There we go. Okay. AV capture session. And this one is, of course, AV session. And end it with a semicolon. And let me just check it to make sure this header file is correct. And it should be fine. Okay. So now we need to go into our implementation. And let's get rid of this interface thing because it's annoying. And first things first, we're going to want to synthesize the AV session that we just did. So let's go at synthesize AV session. Put a semicolon. And now we can begin coding. Give myself some space. Alright, so we're going to begin by writing void toggle flashlight. And open bracket. There we go. Alright, so begin by writing AV capture device. Capture device. There it is. Alright, and we're going to call this device. Okay. And then you follow it up with AV capture device default device with media type. And make sure the NS string is AV media type video. Media type video. There it is. And that with a semicolon. Got a text message. Okay. And that with a semicolon. Now let's make an if statement. Okay. if device dot torch mode. There we go. Equals AV capture torch mode off. I want to bring this down here. Okay. So if that equals that, then we're going to create an AV session. So we do that by AV capture session. Right, and we call this session equals AV capture session allocate and initialize. Wow, this is really lagging. Allocate, initialize. There we go. Okay. And then session add input. Make this input. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Make sure I'm doing this correctly. Let's see, we got the AV device, AV capture, allocated memory. That's fine, that's all good and good. We need to, no, this line is wrong. Okay, so forget that line. Skip a space here. Let's make this AV capture device input dot input. Might have been doing it right. I don't really remember. Input equals AV capture device input device input with device. Yes. Okay. Device here. Oh, darn it. Device. Good. Alright, looking for error. We're going to put nil. That should be that. So we'll just wrap it up. Close it off. That should highlight. Okay, all good. Then we just need to put session add input dot input. Okay. Next, we're going to need to create a video output and add to current session. So we'll do that in the next video.